Say I didn't warn you. What the hell? You want to tell me what the hell just happened?
Long story.
Yeah, maybe it's your blood they should be testing for vaccines.
They already did. More than I could stand.
What are you doing?
The data's gone.
What data?
Your data. Your blood analysis, your genome, everything that we need to make a vaccine.
No, I mean everything I need to get my 50 million. Well, come on, Supergirl. Let's get looking.
Hello everybody and welcome back to more Resident Evil 6. Right off the bat you're going to see I'm discarding some items. I got these from a previous failed recording, so in the interest of fair play I'm just getting rid of them now. I'll go into detail on that in a little bit, but suffice it to say, it's not too big of a deal. The sniper rifle, we get it right up here and you'll be seeing the pickup for it.
There's a shack up there. Finally, a little luck.
Okay, first we find the data, then we'll take shelter there.
So this data you need to find, it's about me, isn't it?
There are 3 data chips. I lost them in the crash. The locator will pinpoint each one's position.
Okay, we find your gear, then I brew us up a nice hot pot of coffee.
We have the Scout sniper rifle, bolt action. I like this gun. It has a good feel to it. It's satisfying to get a headshot, and it's just accurate in general. So you might have seen that I just equipped a flash grenade while I'm running up the stairs here. There's a very good reason for that.
Jesus, what are these nasty looking things?
They're Juavo, and they're encased in a cocoon. When they hatch, well, it isn't pretty.
I'm so glad I was immune to that shit they gave me.
And just like that, we kill the 3rd transformation out of 4 that come from chrysalids. This is called the Mesek, which means moon in Serbian. This is the only chapter that they appear in, but rarely they can appear in one of the future chapters, but it's so negligible you might as well not even consider it, in my opinion anyway. So as you can see, we've actually got a map here. This is a pretty big area, and I like the ambitiousness of this. You gotta wander around a blizzard in the mountainside, finding these 3 devices that apparently have Jake's data on it. And here's me trying to kick a barrel that's not there. But yeah, this chapter, I was pretty excited going into this, and I was also dreading a moment that came on later. I would like to just point out that after I punched that guy, Sherry got a headshot on him, and then for some reason I was still locked onto him. So this chapter, I was pretty excited going into it. It's pretty big. There's a certain mechanic that we'll be seeing a little bit that only appears on this map. And later on, we get a pretty cool horde mode. It's pretty short though. But this chapter either goes really well or really badly, and there's a few gimmicks to it that can either completely screw you over or they'll just be there. I guess that's one way of putting it. Oh, and by the way, up here on this mountainside, that's where they spawn in at. I just thought I'd point that out. So you might have heard Sherry just fire her gun. Yeah, she actually killed someone. She got a headshot.
Hell yeah!
There are a lot of damn snipers on this mission, and you'll be seeing quite a bit of them. And they can also transform into something that is also very annoying on its own. And see, I picked up that flash grenade there. That was that guy Sherry got a headshot on from a mile away. So I could have just punched this guy, but for some reason I, you know, trying to angle my character again. So there's no need to go up that ladder. In fact, it'll just set you back. So we're just going to ignore that for now, and we'll talk about that later. So we're actually walking on an ice slope right here. Now, this is where things can either become really annoying, or right here, you see it's just going so smoothly, and I wasn't expecting this. So if you fall down, then you will start sliding back all the way down the mountain. And I don't think this can kill you, but there is a cliffside that I've always hit a rock, but I don't know if you can just slide off the mountain and it'll kill you. But you'd have to be pretty high up for that. And right here we see a new transformation, one that could have happened in the previous chapter. This is called the Just. Now, I don't know the pronunciation, so I'm just going to give it my best effort, but it pretty much means scale in its armor. And you see Sherry right there, she dodged out of the way, and now she's rolling down the mountain for her, you know, little mistake there. So let's go see another enemy. Oh yeah, that sniper can shoot through the wall. There's some stones there, but he'll shoot through them. This is the Glava Smech. Now, I don't know what Smech means, but I found some translations that said it's either spike or laughter, but I'm not too sure about that. And this is very, very dangerous. So if you're playing as a male character, you can just run up and elbow him, and, damn it. So you can easily pull a coup de grace on them if you're playing as a male character. Oh, and here's what happens when you try to melee these guys with the leg armor. I just thought I'd show this off. You notice he still got his attack off. You just can't stun those guys. And let that set the theme for the rest of this chapter. There's a lot of friendly fire going on here. Anyway, let's keep going back up the hill. So, the Glava Smech. It will grab you, and it'll pretty much instantly kill you. That's if you don't have defense level 3. And you can see this guy's on a snowmobile, and I just shot him off of it. You only need to shoot them once, and they fall off. So let's get on that snowmobile. Yep, you can actually drive a vehicle around in this stage. Oh, sorry. I was having a problem turning around there, so I just decided to drive down the mountain. It's pretty hard to turn this thing around, and I accidentally get off right here. But, yeah. It makes for a pretty quick getaway from the top or the bottom, and I almost hit that thing. I think if you hit the gas canister, it'll explode and probably kill you. Let's not test that theory, though. So after I pull off a few vehicular manslaughters, we get up to the top here. And after driving the snowmobile through myself, we'll get the second device, and we'll see our first emblem of the chapter in this little piece of construction equipment.
Okay, one more to go.
So both players could get on snowmobiles because this guy drives in over the mountainside, but there's no need to, especially when you see a little trick I've got planned up here. And Sherry can take her time. I'll just go ahead and fight the enemy horde myself. I mean, I'm playing Jake after all. I can do that. Oh, you can see this guy's got a stun rod. Yeah, you don't want to get hit by those stun rods. They deal more damage, obviously. Just like in RE5 when those guys started showing up with stun rods, they were just dangerous. Look at this, watch this. He shoots Sherry and thinks he can shoot me. Hey, only I can abuse my partners, thank you very much. And so while she takes a few years to get up off the ground, let's take out this guy. One thing I didn't mention is that if your AI partner gets knocked over, sometimes they just take way too long to get back up for some reason. Now, the last device is across this bridge, and as you can see on those bridge posts there, they don't look too sturdy. They're kind of leaning. They're a little bit bent. See? Well, it's probably nothing. But I'm just going to leave this here just in case, you know? Oh, and watch this, watch this. He actually hit me. And this is what happens if you get grabbed by a messec. And this leads into another thing I want to say about Agent Hunt, actually, because I was paying attention to some conversations a few months ago where someone found out. Well, see, when you're playing as Agent Hunt, like the hunter, the creature, you have the ability to respawn at will. Now, people have taken to abusing this. If you respawn as a messec after grabbing someone, they will immediately die for no reason. Let that sink in. So never play Agent Hunt on this map, because that's what most people will be set to become. And most of the time when you play with Jawavo, they'll just be guys with knives or something. But in this case, they'll just spawn as messec all the time. And we've got the second emblem over on top of this tower here. You might have a hard time seeing it in the video, but it's there. It's right at the top. So I'm going to ask a question here. Where did these chrysalid come from? Because this implies that they were here long before Jake and Sherry even recovered from their, descent.
Is that it for the data chips?
Yeah, thanks for the help. Now let's get out of this cold.
It doesn't really make much sense. And you could say that these guys might have just been innocent, normal people wandering around, but even that doesn't make any sense, because how would they be exposed to the C virus in the first place? So I'm really curious how these chrysalid came to be up here, or even down there.
Follow me.
So this has actually been pretty tame so far, and I can't really have that. Let's go see something else. Here's what happens if you shoot the weak spot of those things. Yeah, they explode, and it'll hurt you if you're too close. So here's why I planted that bomb. We blow up the bridge, and now we've got a shortcut to the cabin. So see, this is where we could have climbed up on that mining cart bridge from earlier. It would have just taken us over here. So this is how you're supposed to get back to the cabin, actually. So we just made a really good shortcut. Not only that, when we go into this little tunnel here, there are actually two herbs, a green and a red herb, but I kind of made a mistake and I couldn't pick up the red one, but that's okay. The only other way back down here is to go to where you found the first device and just drop down from there, and obviously that would take way too long. And plus you wouldn't get the healing items out of it, so now we've just got a straight shot to the cabin and we'll be done with the first half of the chapter. Just be careful about that bridge if you happen to play this, because if you knock that down before you go across it, or if you're even 1 pixel on that bridge and it goes down, you're going to die. And then you'll all have to run all the way back down the mountain and climb across that bridge and then climb up the broken down ladder to get here. So don't ever let it happen. I found it out when I accidentally crashed my snowmobile into the bridge, and then it fell, and I was pretty taken away by that. So here I was thinking, I'm going to punch this bird. I'm going to try to show it off how much health this thing has. The only attack the Messek can do is grab you, and they have to have a straight line towards you, and he doesn't really have one here, so he's just going to end up flying around and then landing. I think when they're on the ground, they can peck at you, but they only show up in one mercenary stage, and I have never really seen them do that all that often, if anything. So here I go. I'm just going to kick the crap out of this thing, and well, he ends up flying away, and I realized this is going to take too long, so I just decided to throw a grenade right at Sherry's face. And then I somehow cause a glitch in reality, and you know what? We're not going to question that. Let's just get inside the cabin.
Sherry. Sherry.
Okay. I'll go get help. It can't be that much further to the rendezvous.
Oh, wait! So, you always been like that? The whole healing thing?
My dad was a scientist. He was working on BOWs when I was exposed. Luckily, I was treated with the vaccine before it was too late. But the virus adjusted and adapted. It's been a part of me ever since.
What happened to your father?
His research killed him. By the time he died, his body had mutated so much, he wasn't even recognizable.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to...
That's all right. Besides, I didn't walk out of it empty-handed.
Yeah, you got superpowers.
That's not what I meant. The people who saved me, Leon and Claire, are the closest friends I've ever had.
Claire is that BSAA guy's sister, right?
They risked their lives for me back in Raccoon City. I guess I'm still just trying to live up to their example. Never giving up. No matter the odds.
Speaking of odds... Looks like we got some party crashers. This cabin's invitation only.
Oh yes, it's time for a cabin battle. You know, that cutscene might come off a bit awkward because of how much Jake and Cherry have been fighting against each other through this whole chapter, but, well, you know.
We're surrounded.
That's just how this game is. So this is either really easy or really hard, and you'll be seeing what caused me to fail in the first recording in just a second here, because something happened that I wasn't expecting, and I just threw another flash grenade Cherry, and then I kicked her. Wow, I am being such a douche in this chapter. Okay, but here's where things went wrong. So these guys dropping in, they can transform, but I kind of had a problem in my previous recording, and I did not confirm my kills. So before we come back to this, out of nowhere, instant death! And I kind of cut the recording device a little too early, but after that, I got killed by someone on the ground with a stun rod. And here's a new transformation. This is the Glava Begunats, and I kind of countered it. I went into mercenaries mode when I saw that guy because the best way to kill him is by countering him. So I just decided to restart the whole recording from there. And you might notice I just planted a remote bomb there. Yeah. Hey, the objective was to wipe out all the enemies, so I'm going to do that. So we could just run out there, and that would cause an avalanche to come down on us. But like I said, I got to confirm my kills. So let's get out of here. If you stay too long in the cabin, it'll come down eventually as well.
Let's get out of here.
Told them to keep the noise down.
You notice I've been getting a lot of Magnum ammo? So this was the one moment I was dreading from the beginning of this LP, because this is buggy as hell. And yeah, they put skill points on the track, so you gotta be mashing square to get these as you drive by.
The whole mountain's coming down. God must really hate us today.
We'll make it. Just keep going. Anyway, I don't hate you.
Oh, great. That helps.
Oh no. All right.
So yeah, you notice that I just flinched right there on the snowmobile. That's because I almost died. So you move at one set speed, and this avalanche can get faster or slower depending on what difficulty you're playing as. So with a higher difficulty you go, it starts moving faster. I don't know if it's completely randomized either. Okay, see here I'm flinching again. This is not how it's supposed to look. If this is your first time playing, and I know this from my first time playing, it wasn't ever getting this dangerously close to me. And it was really close to me at the very beginning, and I didn't even take a wrong turn or veer at all. And right there I just flinched again.
I don't want to be buried out here!
If you don't take the perfect route through this entire section, you're going to die, and you have to start all the way back at the beginning. And there is a chance that if you die, you're going to be stuck in a loop where... And right there, do you see the ice just kick up right there because it was getting closer than it should have? Even though I'm going on the good route. I admit that I was veering off a bit. Oh, and hey, guess what? I was afraid I wasn't going to hit this emblem, and I was really scared that I was going to die in this cave. And I don't get to pick up the skill points that are right there because I flinched again. But I've been killed in this cave by that avalanche. It has gone through the walls to kill me on higher difficulties like Professional and No Hope. because there's no offset to that avalanche getting speed. You move at 1 speed, and now doing this recording, I knew that it was completely random on how that snowmobile, well, that avalanche was going to go, because either you don't see it that close to you, or you do.
Are you okay?
Don't worry about me. I'm built like a tank.
Fine, I won't. Let's go.
Wow. Watch your step.
I wonder how deep this mine goes.
The best advice I can give you is just stay glued to the AI, because they usually take the route that gets you through. And right there I was just showing off that no matter what you do, that ice is always going to make the loud noise. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the Glava Begonauts, the one thing that I countered by accident.
Jesus Christ. What does it take to kill that thing?
I think he's using those bugs to sniff us out. Be careful.
They start swinging their weapons really wildly. Like, they can have guns or, like, machetes. And if you get hit, they actually just do more damage. So here's a quote-unquote stealth section. It's just a lot of waiting. If you make any noise by shooting your gun or something, or one of these things called Oko see you, then the Ustanak will come charging. You gotta hide in that dumpster there. And if he catches you, it's instant death, yeah. And if he sees you getting into the dumpster, then he'll just open it up and kill you. So here comes an interesting bit. I'm gonna cheat a little bit right here. So once you see the checkpoint come up, I'm just going to restart. Now, there's a good reason I'm doing this. When I restart here, I'm going to run forward immediately, and you'll see that it sets one of these Oko here. Now, the reason I do that is because normally he'll be all the way at the other end of this place, and there are 2 of them, so in the interest of time, I just decided to do that. So we can see behind these icicles, there's a chest there, and those usually mean skill points, but the Ustanak is over there. Wasn't he just in the center cave a minute ago? And no, that's not because I restarted. No, he's just there. So, just the act of throwing a grenade gets its attention. I'm going to get those skill points. Now, if you drop down, you can actually drop down on that side, on the opposite end of this corridor. That's some cute dialogue. But if you drop down in the same corridor as him, he'll just magically know you're there. He'll start going straight to the person hiding by the dumpster and kill them. And if they start to hide, then he'll just start chasing the person who dropped down. So here's what you do to get him away from that chest.
Shit, he found us.
So now you see there wasn't a cutscene there. And I hide again. And once we get out of the dumpster again, you'll see that he's gone for no reason. Yep, that is how you're supposed to get him away from there. How would you ever know that? I have the official strategy guide, and apparently their way of doing this was planting a bomb near the icicles, but I got news for you. Those icicles can't be broken. Only the Ustanak can do it, and he has to run into them. I'm kind of surprised the Discovery Channel doesn't have a program where people kick insects like that. It seems like something they do. So in all of my time playing RE6, this was the one chest I could never open. But before I started recording this update, I sat down for a few minutes to figure this out. And in it is 4,000 skill points. Very useful. This should definitely help out anyone who might have been tearing their hair out trying to figure out how you're supposed to get there. Anybody watching this is how you should get there. I don't know if anybody else has figured out how to get here. I'm not sure how you would figure it out in the first place, but somehow I did, and I hope it helps.
He's found us.
Hide before he comes.
And I'm just messing around a little bit.
Seriously? Jeez, this guy doesn't miss a beat.
Sure can move fast for something that size.
So this gauntlet looks pretty imposing, right? Well, don't worry, it's not that hard. And I'm just going to do it as Sherry so you can see how she takes them out. So what you want to do is wait for this one, then run forward and take this one out, and it'll just go from there. There might be a faster way of doing this, but if you're just playing normally and don't want to put up with anything, this is by far the safest way to go about it. You have to kill all of them on single player if you want the AI to come down here, otherwise they're just going to stay up there. Now you might be noticing there's a serpent emblem up there. Don't worry, I will get that in a moment, after we pick up a chest with 5,000 skill points in it. If for some reason you get caught, you might have noticed there were more than one dumpster here. And that because 3 of them are fake and only one of them you can actually jump in. The one you can jump in is right there, but the rest are filled with rocks, and when you open them your character just looks all sad about it. So here we go. Let's get back to the main game. So if you hadn't have noticed that, you probably would have opened this door, and then when the camera pans around you would have seen it, but there's no way to close this door once you've opened it, so make sure to shoot that. You've got plenty of time.
Run!
We can't go anywhere without that key.
Then let's go get it.
So now's the time you question, who the hell is that guy? He doesn't even look like he's dressed for this kind of environment. And what was he doing here? How did he get in here? That's one of the first times in the game they're just going to kill these random people to show off what the enemy can do. Anyway, I'm just going to let the next few moments speak for themselves.
What do you think of that, sucker?
Quiet,
Sherry.
he'll hear you.
Hurry up. Sherry. Come on.
Okay,
Come on!
get it, okay? Relax.
Hurry up!
Get it, okay? Relax.
Hey!
No,
Come on!
get it, okay? Relax.
I'm sorry about that. I can't help myself, but as you noticed, that doesn't really attract the Ustanak. That's the one thing they don't expect you to do. So right here, he's hot on our heels, and we gotta get through these blast doors, or bunker doors. And if you are not fast enough, he will break through and he will just kill you. Thankfully though, if the AI gets killed, it doesn't count as a death for you. Just something to mention. And the AI can die at certain points if you make them die in some way, but it usually never happens.
Christ, he's like a sales rep that won't take no for an answer.
I would also like to give some advice on the QTEs in this game. So when it comes to opening doors or turning switches like this, you are at a set speed. Even with the breakout skill, it won't go that much faster. So these are one of those QTEs you can't really rush along. But in the QTE that's coming up, you're going to see that it moves as fast as you can go. So the advice I'll give is when it comes to QTEs like this one coming up, you should probably just put the palm of your hand on top of the stick and go really fast, because the game has a pretty choppy frame rate and it doesn't help, and it'll actually screw you up, so you really want to keep it going as fast as possible. So now we've got a drill versus drill battle. It's pretty easy, and in co-op it switches it up, so one player will be turning the stick, the other person will have to do the prompt. And I accidentally clicked the stick right here. Well, not there, but coming up you'll see that I failed the QT, but that's only because I accidentally clicked the stick. But other than that, this is pretty easy.
Did it. We beat him.
Just barely.
And so with that, that's the end of the chapter. It was a pretty short one, and I actually predicted it would only take about 35 minutes. The only reason it's a minute longer is because of the footage I spliced in. But overall, this went really well, and I'm very satisfied with it. So thank you for watching, everybody, and I hope you'll join me next time as we enter a new campaign, Leon's campaign. I hope you're all looking forward to that, and I'll see you then.
That's the rendezvous.
About damn time. Come on, Supergirl. You know, those shots of yours pack one hell of a punch, lady.
So, you're Wesker Jr.
Wesker, you lost me.
Albert Wesker was a colossal imbecile. A fool who tried to destroy the world. He was also your father.
What?
Which makes you heir to a very special blood type.